The Russians, we're talking principally about the massive Russian forces that are northeast of Kyiv. They have been badly bloodied. They've been in contact for 5 weeks. They've not had much headway, and they have actually being pushed back. Their logistics lines are likely very stretched and likely broken. So they're pulling back a percentage of their forces to refit, to reorganize, and probably shift down toward the south to help the offensive in the Donbass, in the actual eastern Ukraine portion of Donetsk and Luhansk. They will keep a sizable force in the Kyiv area, I believe, to maintain pressure, continue to pin down Ukrainian troops, and to try to prevent any more successful Ukrainian attacks, which I don't believe will be successful for the Russians. So it is a reorganization. It is they are removing, and it is certainly not their original plan. So when the Russians say this was all part of the original concept, no, this is because they've been defeated, especially near Kyiv, and now they're reorganizing and redirecting their forces. I mean, frankly, what we've seen in the defense has been rather extraordinary, and we felt that the Ukrainians were tough and good fight, but what they've done to the Russians up there. By the way, you're dealing now with morale, motivation, will to fight, fighting for the homeland, none of which the Russian forces, many of them young draftees, conscripts, don't have. They've been put into this buzzsaw with false information and exaggeration, and now they're paying for it. Yes, this has been rather extraordinary, but it's only phase one. And probably toward the end of phase one, the Russians want to do negotiations. Nobody trusts them, but nobody expects them to pull. There's going to be another and very, very ugly military round, and in the south, and is still on fire, and of course major fights around Lugansk, Donetsk, the city of Kharkiv, which is becoming yet another Stalingrad along with Mariupol. And the Russian forces just aren't big enough and motivated enough to take these things on right now. So they're just going to shell and make it as painful, and the civilian casualties are awful. Last thing, the longer that the Ukrainians hold, and at terrible price, and the like-minded countries of the world, because it isn't just NATO and the U.S., it's other nations, support in every way, diplomatically and everything else. This puts huge pressure on the Russians domestically. I think that they're bringing in the Syrians as cannon fodder, because they've taken so many losses among their native Russian forces, and also maybe they have a sense that the Syrians might be more ruthless. However, I believe whatever happens, introducing the Syrian mercenaries or forces and Chechens, all that's going to do, it will make things bloodier. And we think that the Ukrainian resistance is tough now. When you put these foreign international hosts in there, it will get even uglier, and the Ukrainian resistance even tougher. And I've seen the speculation. I'm always wary of speculation, but I will try. I think that when you're dealing with a regime of such, where loyalty, and all governments, regimes want loyalty. That's part of being, but loyalty first. And loyalty, I think, in that regime, the higher you get, is in part being able to tell the boss or provide the boss what he or she wants to see and hear, and the boss, but he provides patronage, he provides access, and he expects utter loyalty. And a lot of these seniors, whether Russian military or up in the Kremlin, all that they have right now is based on Putin being in power and effective, and they're afraid of him because, as we're all seeing, it's getting increasingly punitive. We've seen the intelligence services have problems, people resigning or being fired. The military has got more and more issues internally. And this is all signs of an autocratic, dictatorial, almost totalitarian regime that is moving away from Soviet toward something more Stalinist.